Episode 3543, Wipeout Worry.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're ready for a brand new week. Can you believe it? Yes, we are already almost to mid-October. Take a deep breath. Booze season's around, but no, it's all about mindset for us today. So you got to wipe out your worry. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you want to head over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter to keep it simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. All right, take a deep breath because there is a lot going on. We're working diligently. I should say I am working diligently to try to update Create Your Now, the website, our home, so we can get on there and be a full-blown community all the time. We don't have to be anywhere else. That means we don't have to be on social media. We own our space. And so I appreciate your patience. It's hard. It's hard stuff trying to get this right, but I'm doing it for you all to protect you all and also to protect me, of course. But I think in life we want things to come fast. And I know for me, I have been very impatient with myself. I mean, I'm being honest with you here. And with that impatience comes the attitude sometimes of, gosh darn it, why am I not here? And then what comes in underneath that is worry. How do you see worry in your life? You know, life cannot be enjoyed and experienced if all you think about is what might happen. The word can't, right? Can't becomes your first name because there's no other way to see what can happen. You have to plan for what you know won't happen. So you got to learn to wipe out worry. But it's hard. And if I can be so honest with you, that's not living the way God intended you to live. He just didn't. Now, you know, I am a Christian here and I come from that background. That doesn't mean that you cannot hold different beliefs. I believe you can, 1000%. But I want you to know today we're going to be coming from that perspective. So I would ask you to open up your mind and open up your heart for just a moment, because worry is this, it's this disease. Think of it as this virus that gets into us. And if it's not dealt with, it erodes everything it comes in contact with. Absolutely everything. Now, I know that when you're living life and you're thinking, this is what it should look like, and this is what I've done, and I've gone to college, or I've got this career, I've got this beautiful family, whatever it is, and this is where I should be at this moment in my life. And now you're sitting there going, but it doesn't match my dreams. You're right. Life is not what you expected. But how you choose to respond to life as it comes at you grants you peace. A freedom that gives you permission to smile even in the depths of struggles and troubles. Even when it doesn't match up to your puzzle that you see, that you put together. Oh, this is where my white picket fence goes. I want to have a 2-story house on the lake. I want to have 2 dogs, a cat. I want 2 children. I want to be married. I want to be married forever to the right person forever, right? You have all these dreams in your head, and then you step back and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, that puzzle that I put together for my life doesn't look like anything that I have right now in my life. And so then when you lay your head down at night, you're like, what do I have? Worry is this formidable foe that robs us of joy, peace, and the ability to fully embrace life's goodness. Living in this constant state of worry is like carrying an unnecessary burden that weighs us down. I mean, imagine carrying 50 pounds of extra weight. Now, some of you, I know me included, might be saying, I could get rid of some of that weight if I can be so honest, right? When we want to shed a few pounds, that's all right. I'm not talking about that weight, though. It's the worry weight. Man, that is just so destructive. Living a life consumed by worry can have profound effects on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being, as well as our relationships, our spirituality, and our overall quality of life. It puts a strain on us in all aspects, in all corners, no matter what compartment you're trying to live out of right now. there's a strain there if you at all have any worry. You know, it's interesting. As I was writing some notes on worry, I couldn't help but think of my grandma. And she was very much a godly woman, very, very blessed to be her granddaughter. I miss her immensely. But she taught me one thing, and that was not to worry. But let me tell you, she was the world's worst worrywart. She would worry about everything, and then she would go into great detail. And I'm like, I wonder where I got that from. Now, I got to tell you this little secret, though. For me, I changed the word worry to concern. And when I can sit there and say, I am concerned, it changes the way I think about the situation. Okay, that's my little top secret. Now, are there times that I do worry? 1,000%. When my kids were little, when they were first starting to drive, oh my goodness. The first time they went out on their first date, oh my triple goodness, right? Okay, you probably can relate to some of these. There are times that I didn't sleep, not even a wink, for 72 hours, whatever it was. They would go on a trip and I would be like, oh, are they going to be made fun of? I mean, all these things that play in our mind, right? There's worry. Worry is a part of our life. But if we can change it to be concerned, it changes our thought process. And so my grandma, she was a worrywart, but she also knew how to switch things and really be concerned. Now, she was a very passionate, concerned woman. I get that from her too. But it was one of those things where I thought, you know what? Worry can be okay, but only okay. It doesn't bring about the goodness and the greatness that I believe God wants from us. And so I want to kind of go through some areas of how worry can have an impact on our lives in manners that maybe we don't think about it because why? We're worrying about other things, right? So number one, mental and emotional strain. This worrying over and over again, right? When we do this in our head, we often can find ourselves caught in a cycle of overthinking and dwelling on worst case scenarios, leading to heightened anxiety and stress. Now that anxiety, I'm not talking about the one where you're medically diagnosed with anxiety, okay? I'm talking about just being anxious because you don't know what might happen. You know, you get that bill in the mail and you're trying to reconcile finances and you've already contacted the company, you know, that kind of anxiety, you bring it up. Or you take a test back in the day. Maybe you still take tests. I still take tests, unfortunately, and I don't like it. And man, I'm waiting for the results and there's some anxiety there, but it's not from the medical diagnoses. Okay, understand that. However, though, sometimes it can lead to those things, all right? But there's this lack of peace, right? Worry can create a persistent sense of unease and restlessness, making it difficult to experience moments of tranquility and contentment, that calmness from the chaos. It also can impact us when it comes to our negative thought patterns. Worry tends to fuel negative thought patterns, fostering this pessimistic outlook on life and undermining one's self-confidence. And you wonder why you have an issue with self-esteem. You're like, well, you know, I don't know. And you just get in this cycle. You go down the rabbit hole, right, of worry. There is no peace. There's no contentment. I got to do better. Why didn't I do this? Oh, man, I'm just not good enough. Been there? Done that? Was that your morning, hey there, how are you today? Is that how you woke up? Mental and emotional strain. It's a big deal. When you look at worry with physical symptoms, you can have insomnia and fatigue, right? Excess worry can disrupt our sleep patterns, leading to, well, I'm exhausted, which further exacerbates the stress levels and impact overall when it comes to our energy levels. And it's like, and you wonder why we're cranky, because we're not getting the rest that we need. Now, a lot of people blame their headaches and muscle tension on the change of weather patterns. It does have that, but chronic worry can manifest physically through muscle tension, headaches, and other somatic symptoms as the body responds to prolonged stress. You don't need any extra stress because it just raises your cortisol levels, and that's another amount of the weight that we weren't talking about, you know, the 50 pounds of worry weight versus the 50 pounds of body weight. Who needs an excess 100 pounds, right? I mean, come on, let's get an amen to that. Nobody does. And then we don't even think about this, but worry it just disrupts everything when it comes to our gut-brain connection. And it can contribute to digestive issues such as stomach pain, diarrhea, acid reflux, as stress impacts the gastrointestinal system. You don't need extra worry. You don't. Also, when you worry too much, you have number 3, impaired decision making. Ever heard of the term analysis paralysis? Well, yeah. Worry can paralyze us from making decisions as they become overly focused on potential risk and outcomes, leading to indecision and missed opportunities. We just can't make a decision. Why? Because we can't make a decision. We're strung out everywhere. And then you're worried about not making the right decision, but then you don't make a decision. So therefore, you're now in another situation that you're worried about. Are you exhausted yet? And it's only Monday. What about overly cautious behavior? If we are a worrying individual who may adopt a hypervigilant approach in an attempt to mitigate perceived threats, that can result in avoidance behavior and limit personal growth, which means you're not going to be the best that you can be because you're all caught up in your own CRAP of life. Challenges, rejections, all of the stuff that you're like, there's no way I can get around these problems. There's no way I can get beyond these altercations and all of the stuff that I don't know where to go. And then you just find yourself worried. And then what about strained relationships? When consumed by worry, you might struggle to be fully present in your interactions, leading to strained relationships and feeling of, this just disconnect with the people that you love. Have you ever had that with your spouse? Right? This lack of presence because you're in this whole other world called the worry world. And that worry just strains relationships. If you're one who needs this constant reassurance, it's hard because then you're like, okay, I'm relying on other people to alleviate my worries rather than developing my own internal coping mechanisms. I mean, come on, our friends, our family, they're not perfect. And if we're relying on them to be perfect so it can benefit us, we got another thing coming. And then think about communication. Worry can impact communication patterns, leading to misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and difficulty expressing thoughts and emotions clearly. There are times that you get tongue-tied, and I'm not talking about you get tongue-tied because of your stuttering or you can't pronounce a word, and so you're kind of in this little, bubble here that you feel like you can't get out, like the word just doesn't come out. No, what I'm talking about is that you can't make the connections you need to do from a neurological point of view. Your neural pathways are all over the place. Why? Because you're worried. And you have this immense amount of strain on who you are trying to communicate with, the person who's right in front of you. Here's another one that a lot of people don't think about. Number 5 is social isolation. Worry can lead us to withdraw from social gatherings, hobbies, or experiences that might trigger anxiety, resulting in isolation and a sense of disconnection from the world. It's like, I don't want to be around anybody. I'm okay by myself. I just want to kind of be. And there are times for that. I get it. There are times that I am truly an introvert. And I'm like, don't want anything. I just want to be by myself. I want to watch my football. I want to enjoy some great tennis. I want to stick around and just play with my grandbabies, whatever it is. But I don't want to be around a lot of people. And so we isolate. Once in a while is okay. But how often are you withdrawing from activities? Maybe for you, there's this fear of judgment, right? If you're that worrying individual who might be avoiding social interactions due to the fear of judgment or criticism, further reinforcing feelings of loneliness and isolation. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, what is she going to say about me this time? and you don't want to go to Bible study because of it? Or you don't want to go and hang out with your girlfriends like you have done for the past 8 years all of a sudden because now you just feel like, okay, I've put on that extra 25 pounds. I'm not as good as she is. And I just know she gives me those looks and I can't be around her. So you isolate. What about limited growth opportunities? Social isolation resulting from worry can hinder personal growth, as it restricts exposure to new perspectives and experiences and relationships that facilitate learning and development. That means, you know what? That one step at a time leads to miles of greatness. You may only hit to goodness. You may not get to the greatness part. Why? Because you stop walking. You stop living your life. Living a life consumed by worry can manifest in various ways, impacting not only our mental and emotional well-being, but also our physical health, right? Our decision-making abilities, our relationships, our social connections, our spirituality, and our connection with God. So let me ask you this question. How does worry show up in your life? Are you stuck on it today? Did you wake up worrying? Maybe you went to sleep with worry on your mind. Now, you don't sit there and say, I worry, but what are you replaying in your head? Think about it. What was the last sentence that you thought about or the last thought that you thought about? I don't know about you, but man, I'm saying a lot of things in my head when I go to bed. But that's just me. And when I wake up, though, I do try to wake up on the right side of the bed with a smile on my face. When my feet hit the floor, now every once in a while, it's like, oh, I slept the wrong way. My back, my shoulder, right? I get those. But you know what? How many times, though, are we thinking about that? How am I going to wake up? Am I going to be hurting in the morning? Are my muscles going to hurt? I mean, that's a sign of worry there. Oh, my friend, that's not a way to live. Recognizing the signs of excessive worry and implementing strategies to address and overcome it all is vital in cultivating a life of peace, resilience, and fulfillment. You want to get to your miles of greatness. That's the journey that you're on. It's not a destination, it's a journey. So you've got to be willing to wipe out worry. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Wipe out worry. And yeah, I could say, oh, you know what? All you have to do is stop worrying. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? But that's not our reality. Why? Because we're human. We're a very complex being, which makes it awesome. Quite frankly, human beings to me, they fascinate me. I love watching human behavior. I love learning about it. And that's probably one of the reasons why I come here every single day for you. Because what we do in life is a behavior. And we get to show up how we want to show up. It is a choice. You get to choose whether or not you want to wipe out worry. Now, if you don't, then don't talk to me anymore. I mean, not like that, but I mean, you might as well turn off this episode. Go take the next few minutes and go worry. But if you're like, gosh, if I could get rid of that just a little bit, if I could tame it, maybe in some areas I could actually wipe it out, that would be fabulous. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Just like my little top secret to you. Change the word from worry to concern. Because if you can do that, it does change the way you look at things, how you see it. So how would you wipe out worry? Well, like I said, we're coming from a biblical perspective. And I want to do this because even if you were to take it out of the context of the Bible, okay, you could do that. But I really want you to think about how this lands with you and think about how you feel when you internalize it, right? What is that? Where does it strike a chord with you? Number one, trust in God's plan. Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Worry often stems from a lack of trust in God's plan for our lives. If we're going to be honest, that's truth. But by surrendering our fears and anxieties to him, we can find comfort in knowing that he holds our future in his hands. Trusting in God's wisdom and timing allows us to release the need for control and embrace the peace that comes from knowing that he is in control. I can only control what I can control. What happens with the world around me, it does affect me, yes, but I don't have full control. There are some things I can participate in. Hurricane Helene. horrific. We've got now the state of Florida watching as another possible category 3, the last I heard, is going to hit it. And I don't know if it's going to get worse, but that's what the last I heard of in the recording of this episode. It's like batten down the hatches. And what do you think people are doing? Worrying. Okay, well, let's not worry. Let's be concerned. Let's change the way we approach this and trust that no matter what happens, even if we lose our house, heaven forbid we lose our life or lives of people that we love, that God will take care of it because he's already gone before us. That doesn't make it easy. No, it does not. But it changes our approach in living. And that is the difference. So when faced with uncertainties about the future, instead of allowing worry to consume you, you can choose to trust in God's faithfulness. And by seeking his guidance through prayer and meditating on his promises, biblical promises, you can find reassurance that he has a perfect plan for your life. Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Corrie ten Boom said this: worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows. It empties today of its strength. Are you feeding the barrels of tomorrow with sorrow? Are you filling up the vessels of today with strength? Which do you choose? It's up to you. Number 2, practice gratitude. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18 says, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. I look at autumn as the season of gratitude, the season of gratefulness, the season of saying thank you. But you know what? In all honesty, we all need to have that season every single day of our life. Are you living that way? Or do you only do it on Thanksgiving? Seriously, fair question, right? Gratitude is a powerful antidote to worry. Why do you think that is? Because it shifts our focus from what we lack to the abundance of blessings that surround us. I have this shirt that says, I am blessed. Do you know why I wear that shirt? It's my reminder to say, you need to be grateful. It's not about saying to others, look at me, I'm blessed. I guess if that's how they take it, but you know what? Most people that I've come in contact with who see that, I'm coming in and out of the grocery stores, other places, total strangers, and they'll look at me and say, I love your shirt. Why do you think that is? Because it takes a second for them to leave their worry world and enter the land of gratitude. Keeping a gratitude journal, reflecting on the ways God has been faithful to you in the past, can help you maintain a positive perspective, even in the face of challenges. So by counting your blessings every morning and acknowledging God's goodness, you can cultivate a spirit of contentment that diminishes worry. In fact, sometimes it extinguishes it completely. Again, worry versus concern. Where are you? Author Summers Roche said this: worry is a thin stream of fear trickling through the mind. If encouraged, it cuts a channel into which all other thoughts are drained. And you wonder why worry can be so destructive. It takes away all of the goodness in our mind, all of the potential, all the possibilities. It just drains away. But if you live from a point of gratitude, I am blessed, it changes everything. And then finally, number 3, seek support and community. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 and 10, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Did you know God designed us to be in relationship? First off with him, second off in community with others. Knowing that we thrive in fellowship with others who can support and encourage each other. And when facing worries and struggles, seeking that companionship of fellow believers can provide strength and comfort. That's why I want AIM to open up so fast, and I'm trying. I've been working on this for years. If you've been with me for a long time, you know. AIM Academy is something that I want. It's about living life together in connection and community. Engaging in a small group or seeking wise counsel from a mentor can often offer perspective and guidance during times of uncertainty. Sharing our burdens with trusted friends who can offer prayer and support can lighten the load of worry and remind us that we're not alone. That 50 pounds of worry now becomes maybe only like 25 and a half pounds. It lessens. Don't let worry rent space in your mind when it was meant to be filled with peace and joy. What's in your heart today? Is it, decay right now? Is it a cavity full of worry? I pray not. Because if that's really where you are, you need to start by asking God for him to wipe you clean of worry, to calm the chaos. And you have to make it a conscious effort, meaning you have to think about that this is what you want to do and then do it. And trust in God's plan. And then follow it up by practicing gratitude and seeking that support. Come in here. Listen every day. Why do you think we're here every single day? I'm not here because I like sharing my voice. I guess it's great, but I don't think of it that way. I'm doing life with you in your everyday so you can live authentically God's way. And by anchoring our hearts in faith with God, cultivating that thankfulness and embracing the strength of unity, you and I can overcome the grip of worry and step into this abundant life that God has promised us. Now, that does not mean that life is going to be what you wanted it. Life is still not what you expected, and it won't be. But how you choose to respond to life as it comes at you grants you peace, a freedom that gives you permission to smile even in the depths of struggles and troubles. Oh, my friend, wipe out worry and embrace the fullness of God's grace and love. He's got incredible plans for you, but you've got to be willing to take that next step. One step at a time leads to your miles of greatness. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.